Yo, benevolence. Gratitude for all of y'all. Y'all already know I'm thankful. I'm gonna keep it moving, 'cause that's what I do. This is David Dimitri. We're live in color. David Dimitri live in color on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? David Dimitri live in color on David Dimitri Johnson on Facebook. As I said, David Dimitri live in color on YouTube. We're live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So what's going on is we're on continuation from yesterday and how we was feeling it, divide. And so we were talking about 2025, the shocking events that are already manifesting. We spoke on incrementalism and how the international geo situation, we spoke not just in specifics, but in general, because whether we like it or not, it's incremental. So the level of degradation of the world's global law and order, in the world's global communication system, and the world's global trade system, monetary system, all degrading from the paradigm it was in, going into another paradigm. Instead of seeing it as the world's ending and whatnot, it is going into another paradigm. And that is what the world global investor class, technocrat class, political class wants you to think, that it's just going to the next level of what they already have. Is it? That's the question. Or is it that it's ending for good? Western civilization is what would be ending if it is ending. Comprehende? So that's what is in question here and now. And that's what we're going to talk about. But in doing so, we're going to look at some examples, some videos, drop some reality checks, I want to call them, because it is reality checks. I mean, we're dealing with some strange things, and it's nothing new. It's not strange times like someone wanted, and it's not the end of the world as someone wants you to think. The economy is not about to totally crash overnight. The Second Civil War is not going to become complete, protracted combat in the United States overnight. World War III is not going to just abruptly happen overnight. But for those that are Judeo-religious, raised in knowing about the prophecies and how for some reason the world elites who control the events in the world are trying to control those events to match. They want those events to match what was prescribed in Revelation in the Bible. That in the Injil to anyone that's Muslim or Jewish. So, in other words, what I'm saying is the world shadow elites, secret elites, are purposely controlling all those systems I just mentioned. And they are also controlling outcomes on how the human capital, the masses, within these systems, within these not only major cities, but within the rurals and within the country areas. In some nation states, they call it the country, the rurals. But how we're affected by these global economic, monetary system events and degradation. Remember, it's a degradation on all levels, law and order being degraded. Truths are coming out where there were previously lies told. It's a mass level of traumatic shock to anyone that's, like, I would say over 30 years old, that was stuck in the matrix the mother of tricks. If they were stuck in the matrix, the mother of tricks consciously, then this will be a shock. You see, some of us go through these times of our lives where we're going from one thing to another. And so what's happening is those of us that are really highly conscious, we go through these within our 20s and 30s. We're going through where we're just realizing so many different lies. We're realizing that was a lie. That was a lie. That's not true. That's not the way that really works. That's not, and no matter who you are, you can be as ignorant as hell. You're still going to be realizing that's a lie. And that's not the way this really works. But on such a bam, 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 just happening constantly every day, you look to the side and there's a new numbers for some reason. 7 and a 7 and a 7. Somewhere you look over here and it's a 999. It's just like all these different consciousness experiences that happen. You might go out and a star might move in the middle of the night. It's like knowing you, even if you are telling them, what do you really expect them to think? And how do you really want them to respond? You're telling them that a star moved and you know you watched the star move. And these type of things are happening. It's not just you. It's not just individuals. It's happening a lot. And it's happening a lot. And right now, the world global system and those who run the economic system are controlling things in a way where it's making it look like the prophecies in the NGO or the Holy Bible's book called Revelation are coming true. You see, that's not by accident. What I'm saying is, it's not that it's actually coming true. You see, that's not what I know. What I know, and I'm not saying believe, I say I know. What I know is they have so much power, whoever they are, whatever they are, they're not necessarily a human, that they can control events and stuff and make it look like, okay, this is prophecy coming true. But what's true is they gave you their plan. They gave you their plan in that book that they had written 2,500 years ago, known as the Bible. It's not that it was a prophecy. See, because when you get out of the fantasy and mystery God consciousness and you get into truth, you realize these are some scientific thinking, technocratic entities / beings, sentient beings, who took control of our world, degraded and destroyed all indigenous life, wiped away all type of life forms, and have us living in these cities they propped up. They terraformed reality. Give us these low energy languages and this low energy communication. So our telepowers, which are known as extrasensory perception powers, our telepower, which is doing from a distance, teleportation, telekinesis. You see, so they actually told you, for the masses, or for actually specific people, they told a plan in a metaphoric, but there has to be in some language that they just written the plan out and gave it to the people. But when the people that they put in power distributed the plan, they gave it in this metaphor in Europe. Once they got it, because those are the brutes, they gave control over the world. Then they raised their consciousness to a higher level by imputing their these entities did, these interdimensional travel entities. That for sure I know is who's behind all this. But what they are exactly and who they are is up for debate. But they can travel interdimensionally. They have made it seem, and so many people believe, that in the Bible, the book of Revelation is coming true. That's not the facts. What it is that was their plan they put out For some reason, they put their plan out. They distribute it so that people can know. But you need to know the printing press was only invented a couple of 100 years ago, which means there weren't books all over the place, people. That was part of their plan. That is seemingly becoming true in these so-called prophecies of Revelation. In a sense, they are prophecies, though, because yes, I do believe the prophecies are real. That's part of being a believer. And so, but that's not what that is. Revelation is just telling you it was not given by some man getting somehow mysterious dreams. And that's not how that came about. That was somebody plans. They say, here, write this out. And then about the time it got to Europe, the Europeans fanaticized it. This fantasy bullshit. But yes, the 666, the microchips and all that is real. War and rumors of war, the killing, the mass destruction of Zion, which is the indigenous world, was destroyed. Now we're walking around here thinking we're not indigenous. No, we're still those genetics. Those of us, that's why we're the Unified Indigenous People Liberation Front. That's the what O.W.U is about. Go to YouTube, where I'm live on YouTube right now, on O.W.U. You see, yesterday we talked about falling in love with yourself is going to be the secret and key to overcoming 2025 and all the obstacles that are going to manifest on a macro level. In other words, it's affecting all of us as a mass. All these specific events. Because all that's, if they're negative events, and you need to, that are the financial crisis that is going to only escalate, because we're going through incremental law and order degrading, escalating. It's going incremental. So 2025 is only going to go lower and lower. A lot of people are going to be distracted. The different distractions, distracted from what your own energy, distracted from your own destiny, distracted from your own vitality, distracted from your own divinity. That's the distractions. Okay? And so these are the different levels of these manifestations that are going to happen, you see, in 2025. And so this is the level that we're dealing with, that it's not just mass distractions, it's levels that are planned, and not just planned by human elites, that are going to affect us all on a macro level. With this World War III, Second Civil War looming, mass division amongst world leaders, mass division amongst different groups of mass people throughout the continents. Okay? We're dealing with some severity here of real tragic, I would call them pre-planned implementations of agendas. So yesterday, again, I taught on live about how loving ourselves is vitally important to our survival. But we have to take it to the next level, okay? It's not going to be the same level of love that's going to get you through this, and the same type of love. It is time to adapt, but it's not something that you could perceive and adapt. It's something that you could be taught and being revealed to, and that is you have to fall in love with yourself. And that is specific. That is not in general. I'm in love with myself, so you caught up in a second and third dimensionality of that. So look at how nice I dress with my puffy sweater and my dreadlocks and my natural hair. You feeling yourself like that, and look at, I put some shea butter on my skin. That's not what we're dealing with. That's not what we're talking about. What we're dealing with and talking about is the specific ways of loving, being in love with yourself in your performances. Okay? Performing. And I'm not talking about acting and entertaining or anything like that. I'm actually talking about you're performing in so to overcome these obstacles, as I said, coming in 2025, as I said yesterday, the love of self is key, but falling in love with yourself in different areas of what you perform, not the second and third dimensionality of loving yourself, not like fashion models, not like models loving how they look and stuff, but falling in love with yourself and your performance, in your morals, your ethics, how good you treat others, how you deal with very tricky, demanding predators, whether it be financial predators, political predators, social predators, violent predators. You got to love yourself. You have to fall in love with yourself in that performance, because after you perform it and while you perform it, you got to feel good. You got to be on your Muhammad Ali level. You're getting battered. Everybody know you should be passing out, but somehow you're still going through it and still performing so incredible, they end up giving in and quitting and losing, and you win. That's only if you fall in love with yourself in those specific performances. And we lack that. We lack that as great sentient beings. But in 2025, if you lack that, you will be proven to be a sucker MC. You will fall to the forces of the dark Sith MCs, because they're going to bring frequency waves. They're going to bring damaging, battering, emotionally and mentally. The vibrations are going to be coming through the cell phones, through the computers. We don't want to get fanatic. I want to talk nothing fantasy. I want to talk down to earth. So you're going to deal with, you got predators, jealous. The jealous people are going to be, your haters are going to be dealing in a different frequency, because you got angles of light, then you got curvatures of light. That's why they can't figure out how to create the pyramids, because they don't understand that knowledge. So you're dealing with principalities that's dealing with angles, but you need to be hitting the curvatures. And so you need to find where you're in love with yourself, because that's where they're getting you. They might have even turned you into a hater. You might be jealous of somebody. You got to curve on them and quit going through angles of this. Get out of the group consciousness. You got to break free and get prepared, because in 2025, they're going to take away 2- and 3-dimensional resources. People are going to be battered with information through the social media, distracting you, detracting you, and regressing from your own self-effulgence, your own true and living divinity and destiny to be fulfilled. You'll be distracted from that. But the key to it is falling in love with yourself in the specific areas where you're dynamically great. You can't allow yourself to ignore that part of yourself, regardless of what it is. But we're going to go into why. So big up on my Instagram. I'm going live on multiple different platforms right now. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook and YouTube. So let's big up DeMar Douglas. You already know that you are appreciated, and you can call in. That's the phone number, 909-446-2388. It's no big deal if you close out your Instagram and make the phone call, because this will be reposted on YouTube. I don't repost them because of the length. On Instagram or TikTok. They'll be on Facebook and on YouTube, and you can share your call and all that, and any activity, your comments. And if you want to just comment, go on and type them in. And that's for all of y'all, my regulars on my YouTubes. Gratitude. We already appreciate you over at David Dimitri Live in Color. Thank y'all. I can't call out all those names. So let's get into this. We're going to start with video. We will be chopping this up. That's what we're doing. Let me share something with y'all, because you deserve this. So we're going to start with this. Why? Because it's well known.
If he were to lose again, what would that mean for the country in your estimation?
We'd have an uprising. There's too many people that are ready to go now.
She said an uprising.
So what does that mean? Can you be specific?
Civil war. Civil war.
You think it'll be a civil war if Trump loses again?
Oh, yes, I do. I know with people that I talk to, I'm a churchgoer, and I love God more than my life. But there are things that I do for God that I don't do for anybody else. And this is one thing. I know that God needs some help here. You know, actually, my first election that I'd been to was Donald Trump. And
When you say your first election you've been to, you never voted before that, or?
I voted, but I never got into it. Now, you know, I can spend just all waking moments thinking what I need to do. And of course, I can't afford a whole bunch of money, but I can sure talk.
Now, I had somebody tell me that they would take a bullet for Donald Trump.
I think I would too.
Y'all hear that fanaticism? Is that what that is, or is it just real? Is it just real? Because he's already won. So was that part of some elites to choose him to win? And why? Why would they choose him to win? Is it to avoid what she was saying? Is that why they chose him to win? Because they choosing these people to win. They chose Donald Trump to win. And no, we're not going to stay on that subject. We're not going to go too deep into it. But it's necessary to realize that Project 2025 is real. You see what I'm saying? It's a real deal thing. It's not something that Project 2025 is real, and it's gonna fuck the administrative state up. And Donald Trump and them get in, they're gonna purposely mess up the administrative state so that they can get away with their criminal activity, which is to get their money and escape. And a lot of you need to know, a lot of people don't know, that the elites of Europe and the United States are escaping to secret places in the world. So what's happening is their entire groups are going to specific areas. Donald Trump obviously has a group that he's part of, and they're going to escape the United States. And at the same time, he's empowering those that will stay, that are his people, which is basically the poorer class and middle class that support him. Let's just say that. And I'm a political atheist. I'm not no Democrat or any of that. So we're going to continue with this. In about 30 more minutes, about 11, 5 or 10, we're going to reset on Instagram. So if it cuts off, y'all just wait 5 minutes and come back on. I got a guest coming in right now. So like I was saying, again, big up to all y'all that's tuned in on the different platforms. I appreciate you. You already know that my gratitude is real. Let's get to the next video, because I'm taking y'all. You got to understand that Trump is a sign of the revolt, and this is why Trump is a sign of the revolt. Before you give up, we're not going to continue on this bullshit, but I'm going to give you something that you need to know. Trump is representative of a group of people that were disempowered who used to be the most powerful group in the United States. And if you study the history of revolts, not only in modern nation states, in this nation state experiments, but if you study the history of revolts in kingdoms and queendoms, almost 99% of all revolts are done because there was a pendulum swing of power, and the people that started that regime, that government or that empire regime, are being disempowered. And so what they do is they revolt. They pull off coup d'etats. They have enough power still where they know that and feel that they're supposed to be in power. They're ordained to control and keep the law and order. They're supposed to be above others. But it's a oxymoron, because what you thinking and you expect is that the oppressed people will rise up against the oppressor, but that's not how revolts actually happen. That is not how they happen the majority of the time. How it's happening is those that were the oppressors, when they lose their power, now they get mad and they nut up or they fight against the new government before it gets too much power, or while it has this power, they say, no, we got to get all this back. And that's what Donald Trump is representative of. He's representative, and the GOP are representative of, and the Republicans are representative of that. But the Republican is irrelevant to mention. That's an old, outdated category. So is Democrat. So that's why they're called conservative, to conserve the old ways. So what they want to do is, they got all the guns. Like I said yesterday on the live stream, you go to the gun conventions, you go to the ammo conventions, you go to the military shows and conventions, you go to any gun store. The majority of people there are conservative, right-wingers, purchasing and owning guns. Marcus Banks, 5x5, that's right, is in the place to be. You know, we getting deep right now, so hopefully you catch on, because it's all about falling in love with yourself in a specific ways to overcome all these hardships that are about to be pushed on us, and that they already have been being pushed on us incrementally through shadow government and through willing government officials and through corporate investment class, and through just corrupted figures, whether they low level and even the media and the administrative state, military. And I'm just speaking on the only way to overcome all these issues is not just through knowledge, but it is through not love of self, but falling in love with yourself. And that is not the two-dimensional, look how I got swag and all, none of that childish shit. We're not in a time like that. We're not supposed to be a slave to entertainment. Especially as men, we're supposed to be strong. We're supposed to be hardened. We're supposed to be warriors. And so it's like, don't let the warrior spirit get killed. You have to be in love with yourself and your performance, with your morals, your character, with your ethic. In love with yourself, with performing in things that benefit you and those loved ones, which you seek to benefit. You have to be in love with yourself, not just generally love yourself. Because you're going to be needed to be able to perform that just to survive with the shit that's going down. Like the video I just showed was a MAGA video of an old woman talking real greasy and crazy about the Second Civil War and all that shit. Silverback shit runs the place and is always making it happen on Instagram and gratitude, right? So I just wanted to follow up and finish this falling in love with yourself video in the different specific areas. You need to really get on your Muhammad Ali. That's a perfect person to see, because he was getting battered right before our eyes, getting outbucks that time. He was getting real hurt up, but somehow he always came out the victor, is because he was in love with himself in that specific area of life, of enduring pain. He was in love with himself, getting his hand raised, getting picked up in the air, getting praised, getting loved, getting respect. He was in love with himself in his performance under rigorous pressure. And this is who you need to be. You see, because you need to do low key. You need to be doing better than the women. We do. We need to be performing and on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Greater than the women around us, because 2025, if you think Project 2025 is the game, it's not. And that's the least to have to worry about, because with all this so-called tariff talk, tariffs are an outdated thing. It doesn't work. That's old. That shit been figured out 20-something years ago. That shit has been felon for, it's just a lot of shit that's going to go down in the finance and resource system that we live in, the monetary system we live in. And so you got to be up on your game. And that the secret to that is going to be if you are in love with yourself and your specialties. Okay, so now we're going to go into another video that is necessary for the message I want to send. Check this out. Lucky Luciano, Sammy Bravani, 2 million. Mikey Conan, 5 million. So look at, you know, this is black and white pictures. Now you're going to the color pictures. Alfredo Beltran, Mesco, 10 million. Juan Jose Marino, 20 million. Whitey Bulger, 2025, Whitey Bulger from Boston. Then look how high up it went. John Gotti, 30 million. Sam Giancana, 50 million. Nikki Barnes, you're going to the Black Americans, 50 million. Victor Bolt, 50 million. Damn. And you know, he's a gun runman from Russia. Frank Lucas, 52 million. You know what I'm saying? George June, 100 million. You know what I'm saying? Salvatore Rina, 125 million. He's from Italy. Joe Lowe, 150 million. I forgot the Asian country. Albert Upson, 200 million. Going higher, going to 300 million now. Manuel Noriega, damn. 300 million, 400 million. Kenneth Lloyd. You know what I'm saying? Miguel Felix, Gautran, Mexico, 500 million. Damn. You know what I'm saying? The cartel and the mafia racking it up, 600 million. These are all criminals, fucking criminals, man. Look at this, 600 million. Crime pays, don't tell me nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Nasty Nas said it. Look at this. Frank, Tupac said it. Look at these billions. Al Capone was a fucking billionaire, man. Zena Yi Gan, 1.2 billion. From Mexico, a Chinese man from Mexico. Fruray fucking Rick is $1.7 billion. Fruray fucking Rick is still alive and free. Look at Guts, that woman from Colombia, 2 billion. Look at Alan, look at this shit. Look at this shit. And look at your fucking bills you're facing. Look at the fucked up shit you're living with. And look at how they live, man. Look at, notice none of them motherfuckers was underweight. Look at the health. Look at Elizabeth Holmes. Do you know about her story? Look at her, she made 4.5 billion. Elizabeth Holmes. And motherfuckers want to be rappers. That's how they got us down bad. Know what I'm saying? You get a crime for getting fucking high, you will go to jail. You know what I'm saying? You go to fucking jail and now you're a fucking felon. You're a fucking felon. They fucked you up. A good human being walking around here putting up with people's shit every day, minding your business every day. And just because you smoke something, you got to go to fucking prison. You buy and sell what you get high on, and you got to go to fucking prison. You smoke weed. Well, you don't have a license. You go to fucking prison. Now you got to join a gang. You get all fucked up in the game. Or you've been doing your best to try to make it in the music game or entertainment, or you trying to do your business. You got a business. You detail cars. You specialize in buying and trading motor engines for muscle cars. Whatever it is you do, you got a barber shop. You know what I'm saying? You work at, you're a barber. You want to get your way up to the barber shop. You know what I'm saying? You want to have a detail facility for the cars. You know what I'm saying? You're a manager for artists. You're an artist. You paint. You do graphics. You do events. You're a filmmaker. Whatever it is you do, you're not getting shit. And look what these people got. And look how old they were. Elizabeth Holmes is about to get freed. She's practically free the way they got her living in that motherfucking prisons. And we're so fucked up. And that's why you gotta be in love with yourself in the game that you're kicking. All right, let's move to the next video. This shit is crazy right here. What you about to hear. This is crazy.
You look through human history, not least because of what we've been talking about, you know, the continuation of the same basic process through history. I mean, it's changed in its emphasis and it's changed in its way of selling it, but it's been basically the same process. The many, no matter what culture it is, it doesn't matter what religion it is, it doesn't matter what era it is, the many give their power to the few, who, as a result, impose their will on the few, or on the many. That's happened all the way through human history. And all that's happened in the COVID era is it's become more obvious as things have got more and more extreme, but that's been the process all along. There's no way that Genghis Khan or Joseph Stalin or any of these people could have done what they did without the acquiescence of the people. No way Hitler and the Nazis could have done it without the acquiescence of the people. Acquiescence in two ways. One, supporting them because they bought the lie. And two, intimidation into obedience because they fear the consequences of not being obedient. If you look at the population of China today, I mean, it's unbelievable, massive.
Yeah, it's huge.
If that said no in any kind of unison to these prats in the government, in the communist government, we'd see actually all along has had no power.
Yeah.
Because you can send your military out, okay, but
Okay, so you know what I'm saying? It's really wild how it works, how a few can control the many, the masses. So what they got us in a mind state, exactly. Silverback shit said obedience. That's exactly where they're using us through group consciousness, through group consciousness. If we group think, you got to be able to break the group think, and then we end up criticizing them and saying, well, rich people are bad people, or the shadow elite, or the government is bad. That's not the way we should think. We should think that we should group together and form our own secret societies. We're not being intelligent enough because we think we got to form these groups and say that I'm a Moor, or I'm a black Hebrew. No, we need to be fucking invisible. And it shouldn't be any racial lines. That's the way to keep people down. Because of course, some Hispanic brothers can work with Hispanic brothers, and black brothers, and white brothers, and Asian brothers, and Polynesian brothers, and working together, right? And sisters, I can say sisters too, of course, but men need to work together. And these different groups need to trade friendly with each other. They need to be trade friendly, support friendly with one another. And then the way to do that is you have a specific group, and that's what O.W.U is. Go on my YouTube. It's right there in the comments. O.W.U, Original World Union. And that's a vision that I have for a future golden age coming in this world. We got to not give up the hope that the world will be cleansed of these evils. But what's happening is we are the Unified Indigenous People Liberation Front. So knowing that we're the indigenous human sentient beings to this planet, not just human beings, they're not just a specific group, we're able to come together regardless and and work together. And so the specific members that are Hispanic, the Latinos, the specific members of the Unified Indigenous People Liberation Front that are foundational Black American or African or from Asian, or those specific groups communicate with their own specific people. But they're members of the Unified Indigenous People Liberation Front, and that's how we keep trade going. We'll become the elite because we are not only members of the Unified Indigenous family of the Unified Indigenous People Liberation Front, but we are actually doing trade with our specific group. So we have power within our are ethnic groups. And so if we don't think about order, law and order, control, then why are we bitching about other people having control and implementing law and order? It don't make no goddamn sense. And that's what happened to us, because we became pussy addicts and we thinking with our dicks, or about time we get around each other, we're competing with each other and ego clashing. And we're keeping historic arguments and historic bullshit ass debates and historic rivalries more important than coming up and becoming bosses. But we can come up and become bosses because our consciousness evolves. We're evolutionary beings. We're not stuck on some childish ass everyday normal shit thinking about punani and material and thinking about just money. We understand. DJ Quick said, first I get the power, then I get the money. You got to get the power. And if you don't have the money, we'll have historic groups done. They group together and they form elites from separate from their own ethnic group, separate elite secret groups. Yes, the contamination of the wombs man is how it happened. Contamination of women is exactly, that's what RZA was saying in his song Wu-Tang, where he said, ain't no time to grab your gun, they already got your wife and children, because they got the woman's mind. So you gonna go get the gun to fight the man, and by the time you get there, he got his dick in your wife's mouth, because they got, the dick ain't a physical dick. The dick is a goddamn mental control. So they turn a woman against you. That's why we got to go and grow past the bullshit. And that's who I am. I'm letting you know. And let's move on to the next video, because David Icke was dropping that truth. He has always dropped that truth. And as I made it clear, this is about power. This is about us forming our own power groups, because we got knowledge. You go to daviddimitri.com right there on the screen under the phone number, and you will see what I've done for myself. I could do it for you. I can create your low content books, your courses, whatnot. And it's all toward us becoming leaders. I train people in speaking professional, and I have a LLC called Prime Up. And if you go to primeupinternational.com, so it's primeupintl.com, primeupintl.com. That's just a template of what I can do for you. And we're working together, we're creating our own success network, prosperity network. But also we have our own secret society. That's the Unified Indigenous People Liberation Front. I'm just putting myself out there. I shouldn't be, but we have to do this. So let's go to the next video, because it's necessary. Look at this. Look at this. This guy now runs the government. Elon Musk runs your government. Whether you're American or Canadian, Mexican, it don't matter. The United States government is so influential and so powerful and integral to other governments running that Elon Musk has become part of your government. Elon Musk is running the United States government. He's heavily influential and powerful in that government. But according to how he rolls and Donald Trump rolls,
the Optimus robots will walk
they'll be
among
enemies
you.
in no time.
Please be nice to the...
Look at this. More Elon Musk. Look at this.
So that would be
and now he's in the
fantastic.
government under Donald Trump.
Also,
talking about taking away Social
what happens
Security.
if you need a vehicle that is bigger than a Model Y?
I don't have no problem with this technology. I love
the
it.
Robovan. The Robovan
So I'm not
is...
hating.
this is
I'm just telling you, we're going to a new phase, and they're taking us to a new
going down the streets
phase
and you
of
see
terraforming our reality to a new reality. Check this out.
Oh, what are you doing, little kitty?
Kitty moves the car with mind power.
Interesting. I'm not sure if anyone can magically move things, but if we listen to Elon Musk, it is possible to achieve this superpower with the help of his brain chip.
Really?
me explain this by answering a revolutionary question. What is Neuralink's brain chip? Zoom in! On the chilly morning of January 30th, 2024, the tech titan and visionary entrepreneur.
Okay, that's enough of that because I want y'all to look it up on your own and prove yourself and know that anybody that's logged in, whether you're on the Facebook, the Instagram, the YouTubes, right now, you can message me anytime. You could call me anytime. That's one of my phone numbers right there on the screen. And I could send you a link and you can come on and you could talk about and we could discuss matters which you feel are important. That's right. You can be right here on the live stream with me, talking from wherever you're at comfortably. And you could pre-send your videos to me. We'll be pumping your video while you're teaching, while you're promoting, and while you kicking it. So let's move on to the next. That Neuralink is mind control. That is going to happen. It's already happening. They wouldn't have came public if they haven't already experimented and succeeded in it. So that guy's in the government in the United States now. He's helping run the government. And you're telling me that Project 2025 isn't real. And looking at who Elon Musk is and how he's in the government now. And it's some real serious shit. But right now, what we got to get into is you. You're the priority. You're the most important part of this entire talk. You understand? You yourself and I. We ringing the alarm. So let's get into this. I need you, and this is what I'm talking about. How are we going to overcome all this? Through unity. And you need to fall in love with yourself. Let me tell you more about that. And this is going to surprise, but it's about to be deep. Now this is where you need to focus.
Let's go, boys. It's showtime. Wakey, wakey.
Hey, Fleck, you got a joke for us today?
We use music to make us whole, to balance the fractures within ourselves.
I'm nobody. I haven't done anything with my life like you have. Let's get out of here.
What the world needs now is a love sweet love. It's the only thing
United States of America, the fall of what? Western civilization.
to live a love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Tell us, what's changed, Arthur?
I'll tell you what's changed. I'm not alone anymore.
Let me get into this right now. You need to understand this. If I can help you, I'm going to help you now. Listen to me. You have to lose your fucking mind. You have an old ego mind that's attached to giving a fuck about what other people think of you and giving a lot of energy and time into bills, in the so-called making it in this world, in the so-called the 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional reality. And I'm guilty of this shit, right? The only way we're going to achieve the best and the greatest is to go insane. You're not going to be out of the cocoon until you completely lose it. And just because you know how to seem like you haven't lost it doesn't mean you're not losing it. Because if you lose it, as it said in the Bible, you lose your life to gain it. You gain your life to lose it. You have to literally lose it. And this is how it goes. You have to snap. You're going to go into an alter ego. that is a blend of your trauma and your genius. I repeat, you have to snap. You got to get tired of it. Sometimes the only way to knock out these people that you see these people fighting, all of a sudden they knock somebody out, is because they tired of them. It's not because of just skill and all that. It's a build up, and they just can't take no more. And they subconsciously just snap, end up knocking the person out. That's what you need to do. That's the only way you're going to truly be in love with yourself at what's going to take you to the next level of finance, the next level of attracting the right people in your life to fulfill those areas of life. Meanwhile, the world around you is falling the fuck apart. The country's declining. Protracted second civil war, shit, terrorist acts, World War III, nuke bombs, all kind of fucked up shit going on. But you got to snap, stop resisting it, lose it. Don't give a fuck. No one needs to know that you're tapping in to something that they don't know. It's going to be a blend of your trauma. Embrace your trauma. Let out the genius. It'll be a blend of new character. The new alter ego is going to be a blend of your trauma and your genius. It's going to be flashing in and out. And that's going to be the bipolar part of it. It's because it's entropy and you're growing. You're coming out of the cocoon. You're coming into a new level of yourself. You see what I'm saying? That's the only way you're going to fall in love with yourself. And that's the only way you're going to be made strong enough in heart and in mind. It's not the other way around. It's not physical, mental, physical and heart. No, your heart is the most important part. Your heart need to be strong. These weak-hearted ass dudes out here ain't shit. You got to be strong in your heart because you start off fighting tactically. But the way you win the fight is having heart enough where you're going to fight with your heart. So you fight at first with your mind. But your mind gets weak, getting battered and battering somebody. But then you got to have the heart to pull you through. And that was the secret of Muhammad Ali. And the only way is to feed your heart, being in love with your heart. All right, I'm out because Instagram's about to cut off. Hit me up, y'all. I want to see y'all come on my show and talk y'all shit too. You know what I'm saying? It's live stream thing. Yo, DM me anything. And know that I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully y'all is benefiting from this. That's what I do. DavidDimitri.com. Check it out, what I'm doing. I got a film out. It's called Outline. It's based off my book, Outline to Empowered. What to do and how to know for evolutionary living. That'll be released after January. My song, David Dimitri Live in Color, is already out on all platforms. You know what I'm saying? Apple, Spotify, and the video will be out January 2nd. David Dimitri Live in Color music video, DavidDimitri.com. Thank you for checking in and being here with me. You know what I'm saying? We vibing together. We doing this together. I do want Silverback shit to come on. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Letty? 39. Letty, we met last night at the comedy club. You know what I'm saying? Alfonso was out there performing for us. Damn, he's like a legendary comedian, isn't he, Letty? Yeah, he's the business. Yo, Letty, hit me up. I'm going to DM you. I want you to come on the show and promote your business and everything. I'm about to get off here because it's going to cut off. I was just talking about falling in love with yourself is the only way that we're going to be able to survive through this these tragic shit that's going on internationally on the international political and economic scene, and even in our country, all these financial changes. California about to have a new governor. All this shit is about to be some switch up, fucked up shit. It's gonna hit us all hard. The World War III shit, the second Civil War shit, all that shit is real, man. And as I was saying at the beginning of the talk, even before anybody had logged in, this goes back to Revelation. It's not prophecy, though. Actually, Revelation was written by Jesuits. Revelation in the Bible. It wasn't part of the Bible at first, but they put it in there later, the Jesuits, because it's their plan. So they got you thinking, because you're under a religious spell, that, oh, this is prophecies. And I'm not saying prophecies don't exist and prophecies aren't real. But what it is they telling you they plan. They told us their plan 3,000 years ago, 2,500 years ago. Now it's like, it's seeming real. It's their fucking plan, but they wanted you under their spell. You think it's a prophecy. No, they're telling you what the fuck they're going to do. These shadow government elites connected with these interdimensional traveling reptilians and all that shit. You see, oh, we get deep over here. You know what I'm saying? We ain't on no sucker shit. We kicking the real, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing to bite my tongue for. Like, I gives a fuck. Why? And so, you know, it's really a funny thing, though. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep a sense of humor. How shit is all like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody getting exposed for what and who they is. You know what I'm saying? So how the fuck we supposed to be supporting people dropping bombs on civilian, thousands of civilians every day? And then people right there next to us is like supporting the motherfuckers dropping the bombs on the civilians overseas. And they like, yeah, I'm with them for that. But then you still smiling in their motherfucking face and want to jump in my face smiling. Nah, fuck a motherfucker like that. You see, this is what I'm talking about. You got to fall in love with yourself. All these people doing yoga and doing all this spirituality, but they don't got no justice in their spirituality. They don't give a fuck about justice. They waiting on the world to change. That silly shit. Nah, Peter Tosh told us equal rights and justice. So we got to have a sense of justice and righteousness in us. And that's where our power, that you got to be in love with your revolutionary spirit, your social activism spirit, your liberationist spirit. That's the warrior in you. You can't let lusting after pussy and lusting after drugs and lusting after attention and lusting after so-called material success to kill that warrior liberation spirit in you. That's your indigenous birthright. We are the Unified Indigenous People Liberation Front. You see what I'm saying? And all that is to juice you up, link up with me. Let's get you on here talking with me. Let's get you representing with me. And let's get, if you need any help on how to use your Instagram, your YouTube, your Facebook for live streaming, any of that, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? However I can help y'all want to do a book like me, y'all want to do different things, hit me up. That's what we do. We building a powerhouse. We better together. You know what I'm saying? Dream work make the teamwork make the dream work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pushing liberation, revolution. You know what I'm saying? And there's no revolution without resolution. You know what I'm saying? There's no liberation without indignation. We got to have divine hate. We divinely hate the hypocrites, the unrighteous, and the disbelievers, and the oppressors. I don't give a fuck about all that fame and fashion and all that shit. Don't even come on here thinking that I'm up here trying to be a bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's not me. I don't roll like that. You know what I'm saying? So don't come on here thinking that I'm trying to be soft. You know what I'm saying? And also don't think that I'm trying to be hard. I'm all about humor. I'm a humor. I believe in the God. I love the forces of humor. So I ain't trying to be hard. I'm just telling you, when it comes to me, my heart, the way I'm made, my spirit, I can't support oppressors. And the real criminals are these governments and these shadow entities and these shadow groups. So why not form our own group and do our own thing? Why sit up and complain about them? Are we that soft and weak that we can't do this together and do great things together? That's just what they want us to think, that when we meet people and learn from people and teach people, that we're supposed to let them go and just keep moving on to new people. We're never supposed to organize and create LLCs and create secret societies and make moves to help ourselves become the greatest potential. I believe that's why we have to be in love with ourselves, and why we're in love with ourselves is, like I said, it's in specific areas of life where we excel or want to excel and should excel. This is why we need to be great. It takes us to do it together. And that's why women are so powerful right now, because they work together. Men are in the Flintstone days. The females are in the Jetson age. But the higher up in money you go, you find the men are able to work together more. When it's because we're trading mentally all the time. That's why you got to come on my live streams so we can trade mentally. Every day I have somebody come on, they're giving we're all saucing together, our consciousness, we're synergizing together in a higher consciousness. Because the ancient new consciousness was first, then energy, then the physical. You see what I'm saying? But consciousness is always first. So, benevolence, this is what we do. It's love every time. Gratitude.